The other day, I told you that Ruto is sick. To understand what he is suffering from, you will have to watch my previous video. For today, I want to tell you how he is using your taxes for his treatment. If you have ever lived among poor people, you know very well that when a poor person gets some little cash, he or she tends to spend this money anyhow. Or we can say they tend to be extravagant. This is because these people always want to prove a point. They have something to prove. So to prove they got some cash, they have to spend it. That is the behavior of poor people. The same thing is now happening to our country. Our country is a poor country, being led by poor people, both mentally and physically. So, Ruto wasn't ready for the presidency. And because he got it, for him to understand that he is the president, he must spend every little cash he has. And this is not his money, our money. And he is spending this money by loitering around. If he is not traveling abroad, he is in Kenya campaigning for 2027. This is why. You see, this guy is poor in mind. And because he is poor in mind, he wants to prove to us that he is the president. So he might have used some, I don't know, illegal ways to get to State House. And to him, he feels that there is, he isn't legitimate enough to believe that he is the president. So to cure his illegitimacy, he must go around the world, travel around the world, so that he meets people, he gets those salutes, he gets to meet every other person out there to prove that he is the president of Kenya. And this happens to people suffering from low self-esteem. We have presidents in this continent, or even in other continents, who can even go for 10 years without traveling abroad. And if they do, they will go for around 2 to 3 visits. But Ruto, in a year, he has traveled for more than 60 times. This tells you one thing. The guy is suffering from inferiority complex and is using your taxes to cure his diseases. So, what do? The only thing you can do is tell William Ruto enough is enough. Because if you won't do that, this guy will continue wasting your money on useless travels. So, one trip abroad costs you as a taxpayer more than 300 million. Because Ruto travels with so many useless people around him. Because they all want to feel that they are close to the presidency. And this is what happens when you elect people who are poor in mind, because they will spend all their time in office trying to prove to you that they are in power. So, every trip costs us around hundreds of millions of shillings, which can build a level 4 hospital in different counties, which can build classes in different schools, which can build so many other projects. But because the people leading you are clueless, They would rather waste this money traveling abroad than helping you. And this is why Ruto shouldn't be allowed to finish this year in office. He must be removed from office constitutionally and democratically. There are so many ways to do that in our laws, and we must do that as soon as possible.